Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome to Melissa Crochets with Love. I really appreciate each and every one of you being here. And I hope that you all are having an amazing, amazing day. So first, I want to apologize about canceling my live yesterday on Tuesday, the 24th. I apologize, but at the same time, I can't, I had my daughter's field trip to the Buffalo Zoo, and we had an amazing time. They upgraded everything. They put some cool stuff there, and it was just, it was much needed. They haven't had a field trip in a couple of years, with the pandemic and everything. So I think I was more excited about it than she was, but yeah. So with that being said, thank you all for understanding. Excuse me. And I gotta go and respond to some of the comments from my last video, not realizing I said 2002. Charge it to my head and not my heart. It's 2022. I know that day I was like doing so much and running around, and I wanted to get the video out, and I think it was the 22nd. So I was like 22nd, 2000, it was like 2222. So anyways, I apologize about the date mishap. I don't know. But anyway, so why are we here today? So behind the scenes, I've been working on a bunch of different working with a bunch of different yarns, variegated, pooling yarn, striping yarn, all kinds, right? So I didn't realize, and I was doing it for the channel, for you all, because I know when I'm looking at a certain yarn, whether it's in a store or online, or even if one of my fellow content creators show a yarn and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gorgeous, I want it. But there's been times I purchase the yarn, and when I crochet with it, whatever I'm trying to make at that time, I'm not feeling the yarn versus the pattern or whatever I'm trying to make. And so then it sits sometimes until I could figure out what I want to make with that. Because as we know, variegated yarns can be really busy. So you really need the right stitch. You really need, so I never really did swatches. I'm not a swatch person. But now I've been realizing when it comes to variegated and self-striping and pooling and all of that beautiful yarn, I have been. So I was making granny squares and I was playing around with some yarn. I got more stacked, they're stacking and stacking, but I have more in a box too, over here. And I got another package of squares. So that video is coming out too. But anyways, so when I was making granny squares the one day, I was like, whoa, it looks completely different. So let me try to use the same yarn knitted, like the knit stitch, and then the knit and purl stitch versus crochet, but not only just crochet, but like single crochet, moss stitch, double crochet, stuff like that, to see how it works up. Does it work up differently? Does it look the same? Well, I didn't realize, and I've been doing this for a couple of weeks now. I have about 6 or 7 different yarns that I've already completed the swatches for. I did have a video with a different yarn already scheduled to be released the other day. And YouTube didn't post it for some reason. It said copyright, but there's no music or anything, so I'm really not sure. So that'll be out next week. So I'm doing this one today. Yeah, so doing this, I've learned a lot. I'm learning so much, honestly. Not only am I learning a lot regarding the yarns and what stitch looks best with what yarn, but I'm enhancing my knit and purl stitch. Woo, woo. I'm knitting a little faster. Not fast, but a little faster for me. So as you can see by the thumbnail, I did show a picture of these swatches. And I'm going to share my screen now, and I have them here to show you. But let me share my screen, so just bear with me for 1 second, you all. Okay, so this yarn is Red Heart. And let me just say too, I didn't realize until my live on Friday, when I have showed swatches in the past and explained what I was doing behind the scenes, that videos were to come. And then I didn't realize until the other night on Friday, I believe Spring and Margaret G, I believe, don't quote me, were like, you're pooling. Someone said something about pooling, and I'm like, what's pooling? And so when I showed what I was doing, they were like, you're pooling and you don't even know it. So I love learning new things. I love learning new terms. So I didn't realize this whole time when I was trying to do behind the scenes to bring forth to you all, I was really pooling. So, and what a coinky dinky, because this yarn is Super Saver pooling yarn. Now, I should have took a picture of the scarf on the front, but let me bring it closer. Whoops. I'm bad with the camera, guys. But I'll show it when I stop sharing my screen, I'll show this, okay? When you look at me when I buy a yarn, I always look at the picture on the label as well. And some of us know and some of us don't know, because it took me a while. And, you know, I didn't realize that most of the stitches or the patterns or the designs that you see on the label are for knitting, right? I learned that, yeah, I learned that probably a few months back anyways. And so when you work something up, you're like, oh, it doesn't even look like that, you know? So then again, it goes back to like, most of the time they're knitting, it's knitting patterns on there, or it's a, you know, that's what you see is knitted. So it will look much different when you work with them. So my color on my screen looks different than in person, but these are neon colors. And this is, it's called Party Pooling Fiesta. This is a 5-ounce ball. It's Red Heart Super Saver. And 236 yards, 215 meters, medium 4 weight. Called for a 5.5 crochet hook or a 5mm knitting needles, and it's 100% acrylic. And I know not many people like Red Heart, but I'm picking, I think I said, like I said, 6 or 7 I have already completed, where I'm doing multiple swatches for each, each yarn. And I have to include Red Heart, which this one versus the other ones I found to be very different. So like I said in a second ago, the knitting is normally what's on the label, right? But if you look at the screen, this is the knit stitch. This is the knit and purl, okay? It kind of looks the same. I probably should have went, which my other ones I did. The next week's video, you'll see it. The other one I did do a longer purl, so you can see it better, but you can see a change immediately in the other ones. But this one, it looks the same, right? This is just like the granny stitch, back and forth. I think I messed up down here, but that's okay. This one I did half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet. This one is all single crochets. Sorry, I had to look for a second. These are single crochets. No. Hold on. Whoa. No, I'm lying. These are half double crochets. I knew I had it written down too. And the one that I like the most is the one I saved for last. So this is the moss stitch. Now, when I'm done sharing my screen in a moment, you'll see what I mean by this one was different, because I do find doing this, putting it to the test, the pattern on the front, or, you know, the picture, it does normally relate to the knitting, even when you do it. But this Red Heart one, so I'm so curious to know if that is the moss stitched in the scarf, because if you look, I mean, each one looks different. Like this one here, they have double crochets, and I used a 5mm crochet hook and 5mm knitting needles. But if you look, it's like, yeah, there's a little diamond here in this one, right? This one's just blotchy. The granny stitch is just kind of blotchy. This one has, like, you know, same thing. Like, I feel like little squares everywhere you see a purple. It's like a purple and blue, you know, I don't know, but it's still kind of blotchy. This one, to me, is the only one that has like a real pattern. So when you're buying a pooling yarn, or any yarn for that matter, in the intent to make something, this can just show you how different your projects can look. I love the way the moss stitch looks. It looks like plaid. It looks like there's more of a pattern to the moss stitch, this long one here, versus the other ones. Like I said, they have double crochet. I do like that one too, but my favorite is the moss stitch. When I seen it come, like, I gotta keep going longer. Now, another question, which I'll probably, you know, once I do a couple of these or post the videos, I'm gonna put stuff to the test. I'm gonna keep putting things to the test, and I hope this helps people. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope that if I can help one person, I'm doing what I need to do. I'm doing what I want to do. You know what I mean? Because again, I'm learning from this just like you all are. If you already know this, you probably do, because I'm not a professional crocheter. I'm a crocheter, but you know, I don't know everything. I feel like we all can learn new things every day, right? So I'm learning in this process. But now when I do purchase a yarn, I want to make sure before I crochet something up, I do a swatch of this stitch or that stitch, you know what I mean? And see how, even if you do a few rows, you know, just to see what it's starting to look like. Now, had I made these swatches longer, would it still look the same? You know what I mean? Like there's different questions. I mean, there's still things I want to work out and try, but I'm assuming it would. Okay, so let me stop sharing my screen. Stop share. There we go. Okay, so now let me show you. Okay, there you go. You can see it better. So you see the scarf on there. It looks like a plaid scarf, right? In the knit stitch, the knit and purl stitch, I mean, I've tried a bunch of stitches, and the closest one was the moss stitch. Not identical. This one looks way better, but the moss stitch was the closest one to it. So, and again, I didn't even know this was pooling when I was using it. I just grabbed it off my shelf and was, you know, and started. But yeah, so I'm excited about doing this. Let me know what you all think in the comments below. If there is a specific yarn, I do have a couple that I've already done. The videos will be posted. Like I said, I was thinking of doing one a week. I may do two a week, but we'll see how it goes. I do have basic stitch 1 completed. I do have bloom completed. I do have mainstays, the variegated here, the black one, that one's completed. I'm going to be working on this red heart one. This is the long stripes. I got a couple more completed. I can't think off the top of my head, but if there is a specific yarn that you would like to see worked up in different stitch, you know, crochet stitches versus the knit and purl stitch, please let me know. Shoot me an email or leave it in the comments below. If I have it, I will do it. If I don't, I will try to get it, and I can definitely do a video on that before you all go spend your money on a certain yarn. If you want to see it worked up, again, please let me know. Feel free. I would love to do that. I'm having fun doing this. Again, I'm learning a lot in the process, and I really hope that this is bringing something to you all. And yeah, again, let me know what you all think. And I really hope, oh, before I go, let me show in person, because I feel like in person is better than a picture, right? And the neon colors look more. So this one does have, it does have some kind of, yeah, like a diamond here. And then it looks like there was one diamond at the bottom. It'd be like the top of the diamond here. I can't, the mirror. So there is some kind of pattern there. Just not the one like in the picture, but there is. And this is half double crochet, okay? This is, I was like, let me, you know, there's the moss stitch, but then I was like, let me do half double crochet moss stitch, because I know moss stitch is single crochet. So I was just trying different techniques. So this is half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet in the spaces, just like a moss stitch, but I used half double crochet instead. So this one has more like, you know, splatches of each color, like maybe 2 to 3 stitches of each color, you know, like 3 blue, 3, yeah. You know what I mean? Okay. This one is like just the granny stitch. This is more like just, this is splashes. There's no rhyme or reason to that one. And sometimes that's what you're looking for. I mean, we're not always looking for the yarn itself to have a design. Our design is normally the pattern, but sometimes you want the yarn to do the work, you know, if I make sense when I say that. I gotta say, on the other ones I've completed, I did do the purl stitch longer, so you can see. But this was the only the knit stitch at the bottom, and this is the knit and purl. And it looks the same with the knit and the knit and purl. It looks the same, like where the yarn, the colors lie. And my favorite, the moss stitch. Look at that. That's so pretty. that came out. I love that. I'm like, and when I got this yarn a long time ago, this was not what I had in mind. You know what I mean? Like I just bought it because the colors, and I think of my 14-year-old, she loves the bright colors, and but making swatches up using the yarn, and I know it may be a waste, but you can always take it out and still use it towards a project, you know, or granny squares or whatever you'd like. But this one's my favorite. Let me know what you all think, which one's your favorite. If this was helpful to you, please let me know. If there is a certain yarn that you're interested in me doing swatches up for knitting and crocheting, please let me know. Yeah, so I hope that you all have an amazing day. I hope that you all stay safe, stay crafty. And my heart is heavy today with the school shooting. It's just really sad. Being a mom of children, it's just, and having the Buffalo shooting so close to my home, all this is just, it's a mess and it's scary. And I just wish everybody positive vibes and uplift everybody today and these next, you know, and every day, honestly. But my thoughts are with those families today. But I hope that you all have an amazing day. Stay safe, stay crafty. Bye guys, love you.